Face down, ass up. That's so. Oh, hello. Welcome to another episode of Low Tech Health. Let ourselves translate expert knowledge. How's my face look? Not bad. Getting a little bit of a bruise right here from those N95s. Today is Let's Talk Tickers on Taco Tuesdays, and we're talking tickers. We're talking perfusion. We're talking shame. We're talking obesity. So, with every pound of body fat, it's another 7,000 miles of blood vessels to be perfused. Starting out at about 120,000 miles, 15 extra pounds, which we all have if we're American and not, an outlier community. I'm okay. 15 more pounds basically doubles your vascularity. I'm a little fat. Now, think 60 pounds. 60 pounds, you've about quadrupled your vascularity. You've got all this tissue that you got to perfuse, and you're not taking deeper breaths. I have a theory, maybe when we eat, it helps our diaphragm expand. It helps us, so our diaphragm, for those who don't know, is a big semicircle muscle right here in between our lungs and our abdominal organs. So their pancreas, stomach, spleen, liver, and small intestine, large intestine. When we breathe, air comes in through negative pressure. When we breathe, it's because we've made space. We're not forcing air in. There's no push coming from our mouth to our lungs or our nose, hopefully to our lungs. It's a pull. That pull is initiated by the diaphragm pushing down on those abdominal organs and allowing space for your airbags to fill up. They just fill up. Your lungs are passive. They do nothing. So in order to be a good breather and to breathe strongly and to get your tissues perfused, you have to activate your diaphragm. Fucking lucky enough for me, I thought I was going to be an actor. And a big part of strengthening your diaphragm, or being an actor, is strengthening your diaphragm so you can speak from it very loudly to large groups of people and very back. Excuse me. When you use your diaphragm, as you see, it helps with peristalsis. Why I burped. It helps get gas out of the right place and move things. My stomach just growled. It's hilarious. I love the diaphragm. I don't think a whole lot of people even know they have a diaphragm. When they mention diaphragm, some of the older folks may start thinking of those prophylactic, like those, they look like the pop caps you'd get in the quarter machines at arcades. Kids, shit. Fucking going way back. 2, 3 generations and 1 generation. I don't know what arcades are. Look up diaphragm. Both of them. Why am I mentioning this? Because perfusion is important, and I'm not a part of this body positivity movement. You live in the flesh, you die in the flesh. You're fat. There's nothing wrong with you feeling good about yourself, but your body is not good. It's a simple fact that the more fat you have, the more tissues you must perfuse. We have a weird thing in this country where we shame people for feeling sick or being sick or having caught an illness. Sometimes shit happens. Grandma gets old and she dies. It's not because she wasn't fighting hard enough, and it's not because we didn't do enough. There's a point where you have to recognize death is inevitable, and you have to welcome it. Nobody wants to hear that. We all want to put that thought out of our mind. But it's human. I'm reading the Epic of Gilgamesh right now. one of the oldest books we know of. I was told it was about a man who doesn't want to die and wants to live forever. I'm on chapter like 2 or 3. He's just killing weird bulls and strapping people down with trees and cedars, and I don't really see where the death thing comes in. But if I have to guess, I think it's when one of his loved ones dies, and he's confronted with his own mortality, which is what happens when we see our family die. We're confronted with our own death. And there's a family member. It was odd, actually, because I thought visitors weren't allowed unless there's comfort care involved, but this patient was full code, which means we're going to do all the things to try to save them. And there were a couple family members still there, coming in, out, no gowns, masks, no N95s, just level 1, actually cloth masks. But she was saying to her mom, hey, you got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting. And it's not her fault. There's nothing to fight. There's no shame in dying, getting old, and becoming part of a whole again. But if you don't want to die on a ventilator and you'd like to get healthier, take some deep breaths, strengthen your diaphragm, answer those hard questions early, because you don't want your kids feeling like they have blood on their hands or seeing you in an inferior light because you weren't fighting hard enough. Sometimes we have to welcome death and the inevitable. Doesn't mean we're not going to do everything we can to prevent it, but it's nothing she's doing wrong, and there's nothing we're doing wrong. It's just not enough sometimes. If you would like to strengthen your diaphragm, a really cool exercise is laying down. I think I can demonstrate. Laying down on the ground like so. Yep, so. And you have your knees up here, and you press your stomach up. I get a heavy book, and when you breathe, just push your stomach out like you're trying to act like a fat birther. All right. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.